Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. We are in part 3 of the Fenty perfume bottle render. So let's get right into it. We are working on the logo at the moment. So what you have seen me do here is insert a text, shift a text, and you're going to see me work through some mistakes here. So we're going to talk through it. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So what I did here was I created a text, and while I'm currently in text, I am trying so desperately to figure out a way to flip that end backwards. And then I realized, baby girl, you need to convert it into a mesh. So I converted it into a mesh, and you'll see me extrude the complete logo backwards. And this is where I made another mistake. So I went ahead and extruded it and then undid that and felt like, okay, I need to flip the end first and then I'll start extruding the letters to make it a little bit thicker. What happened was once I modified the mesh in edit mode, it just was not extruding right. I don't know if that's the reason. If you do know the real reason, please let me know in the comments below. But it wasn't working for me. So I kept trying, and I realized, okay, I need to undo, get it back to a mesh, and then extrude it like I did initially, and then manipulate the end. So that's what you'll see me doing here. I extruded it to give it a little bit of a thickness, and I flipped the end 180 degrees. Next thing is I wanted to create a Bezier curve that I wanted the Fenty logo to follow. So that's what you'll see me doing here. So Shift A, Bezier curve. I went into the modifiers, deform modifier, and with the eyedrop tool, I clicked Fenty because that's what I wanted to be going around that Bezier curve there. Now I am basically just like playing with rotation and pulling and pushing and trying to make this thing work. You'll see me using a mirror modifier where I'm like, okay, we need a logo on the front, we need a logo on the back. And I wanted to keep all of this in because I think it is so important to show how beginners, and I think everybody kind of works in Blender. You are just throwing things at the wall. You're just trying to see what's going to work until it works. I mean, that's how I am with my painting. That's how I am with anything creative, is just a lot of trial and error. So I wanted to keep this video authentic to that. This is about an hour's worth of work condensed into about 8 minutes. So I want to keep that. I want you to keep that in mind as well. But I just wanted to keep it authentic to my process, and a lot of my Blender work and what I do in Blender is a lot of this. I'm just kind of trying everything, figuring things out, referring to different tutorials and different Blender YouTubers that I admire, and trying to create my own little project in the process. So I think, especially as long as you're doing, self projects, and this isn't for a client that you're kind of, just doing whatever, cutting shortcuts at times. If this is just a personal project, I think it's an amazing time to really just like try everything and press every button and see what happens. So we went ahead and ditched the mirror modifier completely, and I brought my logo over to the bottle, and now I'm placing it on the back of the bottle. So you'll see me kind of just playing with the scale, the Z transformation, a little bit of the Y. I'm kind of just playing with it and just trying to get it to look as flush with the base of the top as I possibly can. Now I know a lot of you are probably screaming at your computer screens and you're saying like, why didn't you just use a shrink wrap modifier? And I did. I really did. I tried it and it just didn't work. So I decided that the best thing to do was to try to just get the logo as close as I could to the base of that top. And I knew the render video that I was going to be doing, it wouldn't make that big of a difference. I mean, if you really, really pay super close attention in the video that's already posted, if you want to check that out, it's just short, and I do believe there might be more of a long form video of it. But if you look, you can kind of see that the Fenty is not 100% flush with the base of the top, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it because I am proud of the fact that I got it done, and it looks pretty, freaking close to the real thing. So considering I've never modeled a Fenty bottle, I'm very satisfied with this outcome. But not to go on a tangent, what you'll notice that I'm doing right now is I just duplicated the Fenty logo, rotated it, and now I'm trying to get it on the front of the bottle. So that's what you'll see me doing here. Instead of using the mirror modifier, I couldn't see it happening. I didn't see how I could make it work and get the letters to be spaced the way that I wanted them to. I also noticed that the gap between each Fenty logo was pretty significant, so I kind of felt like that would be challenging to do within the mirror modifier parameters. So I went with this route. But if you, whoever is watching this video, has a better suggestion, please drop this in the comments. I would love for these videos and me fumbling through Blender be an opportunity for the community to just like talk about how they would have tackled the project or what they would have done. So if you have any suggestions or you think you know how I could have done this so much easier and so much better, oh my God, please, drop it into the comments. So yeah, I am just kind of playing with the location. I'm just kind of moving things around. And a lot of this video is me just playing around with this logo and trying to get it as perfect as I possibly could. And I think it eventually does come out pretty great. I do have a confession. The front logo and the back logo are not the same scale, and I'm just going to admit it. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to let you know. I do eventually catch on a little bit, but I did have to adjust the front logo a lot more than I had to do the back logo. I felt like the back logo was just really giving, and the front logo was just really not giving. It was giving me a hard time, is what it was doing. But so you'll notice here that they are not on the same x-axis, so we do need to go ahead and switch that up. One's a little bit higher than the other, so I do catch that, and I'm proud of myself for that one. But their scale is a little bit different, and it just had to be. I don't know why that was. And if you have the answer to that too, drop it down. Or maybe it's just my eye and the way I was looking at it that I had to adjust it in a certain way. So you can kind of see here where I'm struggling the most, and I would love any feedback for this. Where I'm struggling the most is getting the front logo to be flush with that base of the lid, which is insane because the back is flush. So I don't know what the answer to that is, and I wish, maybe it's simple, and maybe I sound insane right now, but your girl was struggling. Look at it. It's clipping on the inside. I'm like, okay, I need to rotate it. But then when I would get the Y flush, the F would be like out of here, gone, disappeared. So I think at the end of it all, we got there. We pretty much got there. So now I'm going to go in and start working with the material. So I just reuse the same glass material, go into my shading nodes, and I just make the color a little bit more orange, pale, just so it's a little bit lighter than the actual glass, so that it pops a little bit more once we get the lighting and everything dead right. And that is basically it. I adjust the size of the top, and we're basically there, Bob's your uncle. I've always wanted to say that, by the way. But that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in part 4.